Let's be honest. Have you ever opened up your phone and just felt overwhelmed? You've got endless notifications, a feed that never stops scrolling, and this feeling that you've totally lost control of what you're actually consuming. Well, today we're talking about how to take that control back. So, let's just start with a really basic question. When you open up an app, any app, who's actually calling the shots? Who decides what you see first, what gets buried at the bottom, and what gets promoted right to the top? Is it you? Or is it something else entirely? And this, right here, this is the fundamental tug of war for your attention. See, most of the internet today runs on an algorithm-curated model. Social media platforms decide what's engaging and push it on you. But there's always been another way, a user-curated model, where you make the rules. It's basically the difference between a pull system, where you go get what you want, and a push system, where stuff is just constantly shoved in your face. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? These feeds, with all the engagement bait and the ads, they aren't built to make you smarter or more efficient. Nope, they're built to keep you scrolling. And the result? You know it well. Important stuff gets lost, your inbox is a disaster, and you're just left trying to navigate this incredibly noisy, cluttered digital world. It is so frustrating, but it doesn't have to be this way. What if I told you there's this elegant, proven technology that's basically the perfect antidote to all of this chaos? And that antidote is RSS. It stands for really simple syndication, and it's the simple, open standard that represents a total shift back to an internet that puts you, the user, at the center. It lets you subscribe directly to the content you actually care about, no middleman involved. So how does it actually do that? Well, the power of RSS really comes down to three core ideas. And you'll see that each one is a direct response to the biggest frustrations of the web today. First, and this is the big one, you are in complete control. You subscribe to the sources you trust, and what you get is a simple, chronological feed of everything they publish. There's no algorithm deciding what's relevant for you. It's like you get to build your very own personal newspaper from scratch. Second, and this is huge, is privacy. When you subscribe to an RSS feed, you don't have to give up your email address or any personal data. You're just anonymous. In an age of constant tracking and surveillance, that is a revolutionary act. It's like browsing the web without being browsed yourself. And third, it's just pure, uncut efficiency. I mean, instead of jumping between 20 different websites, checking 3 different social media apps, and digging through a cluttered inbox, everything you want to read is pulled into one single, clean place. This mix of control, privacy, and efficiency, it's not some new fad. It's a philosophy that's been part of the web for decades. But to really get why it's so powerful today, I think it helps to look at where it came from. RSS has this fascinating backstory that's rooted in that early decentralized dream of what the web could be. It all kicked off with Netscape way back in 1999. But, like a lot of early web technologies, it kind of forked, which is just a fancy way of saying different groups took the idea in competing directions. It was a bit messy for a while. Things finally settled down in 2002 when a version called RSS 2.0 came out and got adopted by the New York Times. That made it the unofficial standard. Then a few years later, a more technically polished alternative called Atom was created to fix some of the original's quirks. So why do we still have both of them today? Well, even though Atom was technically cleaner, RSS 2.0 had a secret weapon, a real killer feature, something called the enclosure tag. It sounds nerdy, but all it was a simple bit of code that let you attach a media file, like an MP3, to an update. And that tiny little addition, it made something brand new possible, and it was about to change everything. Yup. That one little feature single-handedly kicked off the entire podcasting industry. Seriously, by making it possible to automatically deliver audio files right to subscribers, RSS 2.0 became the engine of the podcasting world. And with that, it achieved a level of dominance that the technically better Atom format just could never catch up to. So that history is super important, but the story is far from over. In fact, you could say a whole new chapter for RSS is being written as we speak, all thanks to the tools we use to read these feeds. The real game changer has been the arrival of these incredibly sophisticated new RSS readers. I'm talking about platforms like Feeder, which have completely transformed the experience. It's not just a simple list of articles anymore. We're talking about a powerful, personal intelligence dashboard. And this is a massive shift. In the early days, RSS could be a bit of a fire hose of information. It was easy to get overwhelmed, but these modern readers solve that problem with some seriously advanced features. We're talking AI summaries that give you the gist in seconds, advanced filters that let you mute all the noise, and automations that can connect your feeds to all your other apps. So if you want to put this into practice, it's really a simple four-step process. First, you pick a modern reader that actually fits how you work. Then, and this is the most important part, you get really intentional about curating your sources. Don't just collect links. From there, you start using those advanced tools like filters and AI to pull out what really matters to you. And the final step is to consolidate everything, blogs, newsletters, you name it, into that one central hub. And when you follow that strategy, something amazing happens. RSS stops being just a tool for reading articles, and it becomes a system for generating real-world competitive intelligence. And listen, this isn't just some theory. Across some of the most competitive fields out there, professionals are using RSS to get a serious edge. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples. Okay, so take finance. Traders use RSS to get hyper-filtered, real-time updates from trusted sources like NASDAQ. They can set up a feed that only shows them news related to one specific stock, like NVIDIA, and it completely cuts through all the speculation and noise you'd find on social media. It's just pure, actionable data. Or how about for marketing and PR folks? For them, it's a total content goldmine. They can set up feeds to monitor every time their brand is mentioned, track every single move a competitor makes by subscribing to their blog, and curate this perfect, steady stream of industry news to share with their own audience. And in academia, well, it's basically a survival tool. Researchers use RSS to manage that insane fire hose of new papers coming out every single day. They can subscribe to servers with early versions of papers and get alerts when work is cited, letting them scan hundreds of publications to find the handful that are truly critical for their own research. So what we're really seeing here is a kind of quiet revolution. It's this deliberate choice to step away from just passively consuming whatever's thrown at us, and instead to return to these core ideas of control, privacy, and being intentional about how we engage with information. By combining this time-tested, simple standard with smart, modern tools, RSS gives you a truly powerful way to build a personalized intelligence system that serves you, not the platform. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to build yours?